Chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Hurd.
I'd like to also thank you all for being here, and this is an important topic. I know a little something about it. I spent 9 years as an undercover officer in the CIA. My job was collecting intelligence on threats to the homeland, but I also did some offensive cyber operations, and I recognize the dangerous threats that's out there. Helped start a cybersecurity company as well. I've been doing that for the last 5 years, and it's pretty scary. The folks that y'all have to help defend against. So it's a difficult job, but I appreciate y'all being here. And my question is, when you look at Border Patrol and ICE, they have difficulty sharing information amongst each other, and a lot of it are structural issues, right? And then you talk about having DHS sharing with FBI or CIA or NSA, even more difficult, and then also trying to do it with the private sector. And I know this is one of the areas that these new entities have been created to do. And my question is in a attack of the magnitude that we're starting to see, one of the most important things you need timely information. And what is the system, and how are you all trying to design this so that the information is timely?
So as information comes in, it will go through a process that's automatic. So that's fractions of a second for a machine. Indicators will be available through those standard protocols that every machine can read and every machine can send. So right now we're depending our real-time sharing on people to all be in the room to get it at once, to create a report and to fan it out. Now you'll have machines do it at their speed, which is the speed of the adversary. This already works in pockets in the private sector, protecting against botnets. You see tens of thousands of machines light up with bad behavior, and the rest of the world can block against them. We will do that, but for extended threats, as well as the ability to combine what we see off protecting the government, combining it with what we see which may be partnered or bought from private sector, and creating a large set of data that can be provided to all.
So how do you plan on sharing tactics, techniques, and procedures that the bad guys are using, right? It's one thing to have an IP address or a piece of digital code that you can share quickly, but some of the they're looking at certain ports or the style of the attack. How is that going to be shared with the broader community?
I think two ways. One is that is currently shared today across the agencies and with the private sector through trusted relationships. And the other way is, as we see those indicators coming in, we build patterns that can be combined. Again, this is where the CTIC can help as well. That can be combined with the intelligence they would give us and create an even broader picture for then people to disseminate that context.
Thank you for that. And the other area is, the stuff that you're talking about. Obviously, the level of classification of the data, is not going to be a problem because you're sharing it, with folks. But how do we address the classification of threat information that's gathered by elements throughout the entire federal government to push that down to the private sector?
So this is also an issue that we deal with on a regular basis currently. And we have a couple of ways we address this. One is, as I mentioned, the Enhanced Cybersecurity Services program that we are implementing and have implemented, where we work with managed security providers to build systems that can take classified information and, while protecting sources and methods, use that information to provide enhanced cybersecurity solutions to their customers. So this is a way for us to use classified information to protect private sector entities without having to clear all of those private sector entities to receive the information. So that's one way. And the other thing that we do is we do interact on a very regular basis with the help of our Intelligence and Analysis, INA Directorate, headed by General Frank Taylor, with the intelligence community to help them understand what is the information that we need to get out more broadly and what is the information we don't need to share that might implicate sources and methods. That granularity we are able to achieve because we bring in cleared private sector folks who look at the intelligence and say, as a network defender, this is the piece I need I don't need to know where it came from. I don't need to know all of these other things that are very sensitive, but this bit I need. And then we can go back to the intelligence community and say, this is the piece we really need to get out to folks. And that equities review process is actually working fairly well, and we've shortened the amount of time that it takes to run through that process significantly. We also have ways of again, working to mask sources and methods and be able to disseminate that information. So well, these are issues we're working through, but would love to sit down and talk with you. You may have some additional insights and ideas for us to continue to push that boundary.
Thank you. I love that. Yield back.
Thank you.